Okay, so vulnerable moment. For years, doctors have told me I was overweight, but I can't help it. I love food. Any other food lovers out there? But maybe it's not all our fault. Maybe someone else we love so dearly helped us develop this bad relationship with food. I know you've done it before. You take your shoes off, you step on the scale, and you wait. The number pops up and you hate it. Why? Because it's the number where you shouldn't really be for your age and height. But did you know this could have all started from that moment your mother gave you your very first bottle?
For many of us, body weight is often top of mind. For Dr. Esther Leerkes, researching the subject, specifically obesity, is what brought her to the area.
I moved to Greensboro because of this job at UNCG Greensboro. I've been here my entire career.
Today, Dr. Leerkes is the Associate Dean of Research for the School of Health and Human Sciences. She's trying to answer a question plaguing the nation. Why is America obese? Dr. Leerkes says it may start with the way you parent or the way you are parented.
Sometimes when your child is crying or upset, or you're in a setting where you need them to be quiet, you give them a piece of candy. But we might be training children to think about food over time in an unhealthy way.
A skill she learned early in life, and it is why she tackles the job today.
I was a teen mom, so I was 15 when I had my first daughter.
Leerkes says Chelsea changed her life.
When you give birth to a baby, you're just overcome with such powerful feelings of love. So that would be the most immediate reaction, but it was quickly followed by a lot of fear of, am I going to screw this up?
Moms and dads out there, you can relate to this. Parenting is tough, but studying the way a mother parents the way she does, Dr. Leerkes says it could lead to a child developing unhealthy food habits and become an overweight adult.
We need to understand what's happening in the body, what's happening in the mind, what's happening in the household.
Leerkes is making a difference in the world, and the National Institute of Child and Health and Human Development granted her iGrow program nearly $3 million to dig even deeper into her research.
I think that it was that experience, wanting to be a good parent, that led me to take those classes, very much influenced the nature of the research I ended up doing. That experience really influenced the rest of my life.
A lot of times when we think about obesity, we may think about people who live in food deserts. You may think about maybe this is genetic, but not thinking maybe it's when you were younger, your mom always may have gave you food just out of habit, saying, oh, you're crying, maybe you're hungry, that could have contributed you to always responding to food as a resource when you're in high stress situations.
Another reason parents, we all worry so much, are we doing the right thing? You know, all I have to say is thank the good Lord above for my wife, because she runs a tight ship when it comes to food. I was brought up like a Southern family. We were eating lots of fatback and pinto beans and all that. And so for me, still to this day, I have to fight those urges for the type of foods that I want to eat.
For me, one of my parents is diabetic, and when we found out, I was in about the 4th grade, and we changed everything in our family household. That's our lifestyle. We went to more grilled foods, more roasted vegetables.
Wow.
I mean, we still eat pizza and fried chicken and fatback and all that too, but it's about a balance. And I feel like now as an adult, since that was instilled in me as a young age, I'm more conscious about the foods that I put in my body.
Eric, you said your wife is the one who runs the tight ship. That was my mom growing up. And we did not like the snacks at the time, right? It was the fruits and vegetables. Ants on a Log was one of our favorites.
That's a good one.
So I appreciate it now, knowing that it could have helped me prevent being, an obese person or dealing with obesity as an adult. So I do appreciate it, but it's also important to remember that it's expensive to eat healthy sometimes.
It is.
And
Absolutely.
not everybody has access to the money or the time to buy and prepare healthier food. So, that grant and the money that we're talking about can definitely help.
Yeah, certainly. We love our moms though, we love our dads, we love everybody who got to feed us when we're younger, but we know that some of those decisions could maybe have helped us in a good and bad way at times.